This is evidently but the working of one of God's universal laws. Those who seek the truth will not fail to note this. 8. The only remaining point that need be referred to in this synopsis of events is that of the Lalla's name. It will be remembered that, for some inscrutable purpose, my old friend's name, which was as familiar to me as my own, was blotted out of my memory during the time he was manifesting himself, so that in the end I was forced to confess that I had forgotten it. Instead of giving his name directly to the medium, as the other evidence of his power shows he might have done quite easily, he took what seemed to be, at the time, the dubious course of speaking in parables. Had his name continued to remain a blank in my memory, the name of God, which he persistently affirmed was closely associated with his own name, would have remained an irrelevant and meaningless premonition, but the moment memory gave back his name, this particular manifestation was immediately invested with tremendous significance. In the first place it has to be asked, why was the name of my old friend wiped out from my mind, as the penciling on a slate is wiped out with a moist sponge? Scientific investigators will simply reply, for the same reasons that many another matter is forgotten or wiped out. The human brain is by no means a perfect registering instrument, and can no more record all the thoughts of a lifetime than a barometer can register all the past changes in the weather. In the circumstances, however, such a reply would not harmonize with prevailing conditions at the time, which were those of strong psychic influence. The Lalla, whom I take to be a spirit of considerable power, when asked for his earth name, which, it should not be overlooked, might conceivably have been given with even greater facility than he gave his own pet name for me when in the flesh, chose rather to prefigure it by a symbol than to speak of it in a more direct manner. This method of divination, although familiar enough to the seers and prophets of old, is practically a lost art today. But this particular incident forcibly reminds us that, though the men of this age have carelessly thrown aside such prophetic modes of symbolizing coming events as of no practical value in this essentially commercial age, those who have thrown off the mortal coil still regard parabolic utterances and symbolisms as possessing a high potential value in the conduct of their life's affairs.